Balmy 88 degrees here in downtown Kearney, Nebraska, as we get ready for the Cruise Night Parade. Josh Sykes, Dave Greek, here with you, just a few blocks, half a block, I'd say, south of Highway 30. So right now we're looking at possible storms rolling in. They seem to be further north. I don't think that's going to be an issue, but that may end up becoming an issue or a situation later on. We'll see how that goes. I'm not good at the weather.
Up. Yeah, no, we'll deal with it if it comes up.
And if it comes up, then I guess we got a gazebo here that we can.
Hey, we're all Nebraskans,
not deal with the rain.
We should be used to the weather.
And it might feel nice considering the temperatures today.
Exactly.
Josh, tell me a little bit about yourself and your involvement with Kearney Cruise Night.
So, I am Joshua Sykes. I am the co-chair of the Central Nebraska Auto Club Cruise Night Steering Committee. Brad Kearney and I head that up. I've been doing this for several years. Car enthusiast, grew up in Kearney, and always enjoyed Cruise Night my entire childhood, and now I get an opportunity to help make the event happen and the ins and outs of it. And yeah, just exciting. Grew up with an entire, generational classic car family, and this is just home for me.
We're sneaking up on 40 years of this deal.
Yes, we are.
To have the length and the endurance to go so many years really speaks to the community and the involvement for so many folks.
And we talk about the event. So this event literally started with a Saturday car show and a Saturday night dance. And because of the caliber of people that have been involved with the committee that put this event on, over the years it's grown. And, we went from that simple car show and a dance to 2 nights, to 3 nights. We had the activity directors of the nursing homes, assisted living homes saying, what can we do to get, we have people here that do not have the mobility to come out down to the bricks. They just can't do that. What can we do so they can see the cars? So we introduced the Wednesday evening nursing and assisted living home tour, where we go over all the nursing homes, assisted living homes around the parks. We go out to the veterans home. This year, we had 310 cars participate with that. The participation's huge. There's 11 miles from the time you left the First Baptist Church parking lot where we all met to where we met at the Peterson Senior Event Center. It was 11 miles.
Right.
And 20 different locations that we went through so that we could bring these classic cars to the people that could not come out. It's
something new. It's something fun for the folks who are getting this chance to see these vehicles come through. What does that do to traffic in Kearney?
It can play havoc on that a little bit, but the group that we have are the people that have these classic cars. They respect traffic laws. They follow the rules. They want to be safe. They want traffic to be safe. We had 0 incidents. We've had the blessing and the assistance of Kearney Police Department, the Sheriff Department here to help us maneuver through traffic. In the years past, we've had guidance. This year, we had none of that other than they supervised a few intersections, just because it's like, how do we best, as this event grows, how do we best adapt to make sure that people are safe? Because that's ultimately the goal. We want to make sure that everybody can get through this. We want to take the cars to the people that can't come see them. But we have to make sure that our drivers and the community is safe in the process. And so we've always had the number one, safety in mind. And we've worked with local law enforcement to help guide traffic, to help direct that, to make sure that we're safe. But ultimately, between everything, we have a lot of very conscientious drivers.
Sure.
And we've not had incidents.
That's great. I mean, if you think about 350 cars, and when you said First Baptist, that's the old Kearney High School for folks who don't know.
Correct.
350 cars starting at the old Kearney. I mean, that's more or less central Kearney.
Right.
For lack of a better description. And driving around to these areas, it's like at certain intersections, it basically becomes waiting for a train to roll through.
We actually sent notification to Union Pacific because the only point we cross tracks that does not involve an overpass is on West 39th.
Yeah.
And it's that spur for the elevator.
Sure.
And we submit that months in advance saying, hey, this is the event. they're willing to work with us to make sure that they don't have that blocked off. We've never had an issue there ever.
That's great.
So it was 310 cars. I wish it was 350, but it was 310.
Whatever the number.
Over
300.
But the numbers of every year have continually grown.
Sure.
And when you drive through those nursing and assisted living homes, when you drive through, so I have an old CJ. So I have the top of the doors off, I have the windshield laid down, I have an American flag hanging from the back. And when you drive through there and you see the veterans, and they're pointing and they're recognizing, their eyes are lighting up, and you watch those people drive through and you see the people that recognize the car. They have that memory, that whatever stirs that memory, that spirit, and you see the smiles. It's so worth it. And so many of these peoples have given so much of their lives to our community and our safety. The opportunity to bring that to them is tremendous, and it's so worthwhile. And I'm so grateful to every participant. I'm so grateful to the community of tolerating 300 cars touring through Kearney.
Right.
I'm so grateful for the people being a little forgiving on the traffic and understanding, hey, there's going to be a little congestion, but it's for a good cause. Because if you could see the people's faces when we go through there, it's tremendous.
Right. And again, you kind of talk about it harkens back to a certain time for them and the memories, and it just, people like nostalgia.
They do.
We all like nostalgia for whatever that looks like in our specific bubble. There's a real value there. You told me a cool story about the flag that's hanging up on the north side of Highway 30. Tell everybody else about that.
So we work with Kearney Volunteer Fire Department, and they have one of their big ladder trucks, and they hang a ginormous American flag on the north end of Central Avenue. And as long as the weather permits and as long as they don't have a need for that fire truck, they do that because, we live in the absolute greatest country on earth. And the opportunity to display those colors and the opportunity to, no matter what our political points may be, no matter what our backgrounds might be, we are Americans. And to see that flag hanging there is such a tremendous reminder that today we are one. And we are going to unite under the flag, under that promise of the American dream, and the love of classic cars. Why would we not do that?
You mentioned they're positioned in the certain spot they are in case they had to get to a call in a timely fashion. How fast do you think they could get that ladder down, get the flag unhooked, and get out to a call?
If it was a matter of life or death, I promise that flag would hit the ground and they'd be gone.
Right.
That fast.
And Kearney Volunteer Fire Department is, again, volunteer fire department, and they are tremendous at what they do.
They are, and every one of those men and women that are part of that, I have such respect for that. You look at what they do, and years ago we had a fire at our home, and when those people, when they showed up, and you see them in their entire, the dress, the gear they have to wear to protect themselves. And then all the gear they carry, and to run in with that and fight a fire, they're superhumans.
Not only that, I now have an office in town, so I hear the fire sirens. I check out, find out what the call is, and if it's a call that's a possible structure fire, residence, etc., a car fire, I'm out there as quick as I can get out there with the camera. I mean, these guys are already out there, and gals, they're already out there. They've got their gear on. They're already fighting the flames. Depending on what the fire is, and more often than not, by the time I get there, it's already taken care of and under control. They are so quick.
Ask yourself, if there was a building on fire, would you put on 80-plus pounds of gear and run into it? They do.
They do.
And they do it for you.
Right.
And they do it for people they don't know.
No connection to.
They do it because they're the finest people in our community.
Yeah.
And they're willing to sacrifice everything they have, up and including to their life, for you.
Right.
Why? That's just incredible to me.
It really is.
And so, kudos to those guys. Thank you to those guys and gals. And yeah, what a tremendous group of people. And it's just what a great organization. I know they're always looking. In fact, they had some stuff down here on Central today during the show and shine. about joining the fire department. And if you're wanting to give to the community, what a great way to do that. And there's all different levels of ways to contribute. Yeah. And so, yeah, I would encourage you, if you feel the call, reach out to the Kearney Fire Department and say, how can I help? What can I do? Because they need people like you to be able to make that happen.
We are still a little delayed here at the Kearney Cruise Night Parade. With that being said, no one's leaving right now. We got a really good crowd out here. How have you seen this crowd grow over the years?
You know, again, this event started with a show and shine and a dance. And over the years, it's evolved from Tuesday evening till Sunday. And this community absolutely loves Cruise Night. And we absolutely love bringing this opportunity to people. We've had show and shines, we've had concerts, we've had tours. We've had the opportunity for people to see cars they would have never dreamt of. Those dream cars that someday I want one of these. Well, there's one sitting there. And it's just a cool opportunity. And this crowd, and now that the clouds are starting to roll and temperature's starting to drop, I know we're predicting some inclement weather in the future, but right now we're just enjoying a little shade and a little cooler weather, and people are lined up. There's a lot of people lined up downtown for this parade, and this is something to look forward to every year. This is generational at this point.
It is a busy time in Kearney. Embrace the adventure at Buffalo County Fair, July 23rd through the 28th. Learn more at buffalocountyfairgrounds.com. I have been in Kearney for coming up on 16 years now, and I've seen the evolution of cruise nights. I haven't been downtown as much, simply because either work or personal things or who knows what. And usually this was a slow time in my former career as a sports director, so that was the best time for me to go on vacation and get out of town. But when I was in town, I remember Highway 30 used to be a party from basically 2nd Avenue out to UNK.
Correct.
The whole thing was a party. How has that changed gears over the years, and what is that? What good, bad, indifferent?
Well, and so what had happened? Obviously, we want people to enjoy the event. The actual Central Nebraska Auto Club's events close at the end of this parade today. There is a burnout competition at Graham Tire. That's their event.
Okay.
But the Central Nebraska Auto Club's events close at the end of this parade for Saturday. And so when you see people cruising up and down, 25th and 2nd Avenue, we want people to enjoy the hobby and relive those days of cruising. But what ended up happening is a lot of the celebration, the partying that would happen on 25th Street towards the college, a lot of that was not necessarily positive for our event.
Sure.
And there were a lot of underage drinking. There was partying, a lot of unsafe activities. And our concern was if somebody would be injured or horribly, in some scenario, be killed because of some poor decision making, that would be very detrimental to the activities here that everybody enjoys.
And like you said, they were not associated.
They were not associated
in the sense that they were happening at the same time.
Correct.
But that was not part of your event.
Absolutely correct. And so we had a group of people, Buffalo County Health Partners. We had the owners, the association of the people that own a lot of those buildings up and down 25th Street that rent out to different groups. We had Buffalo County, we had UNK, the Central Nebraska Auto Club. We all came together and say, how do we stop this in an effective way that doesn't necessarily damper the spirit of the event?
Sure.
And so a lot of the landowners, the property owners said in their leases, you cannot have a party above this many people. We got a law changed in the city of Kearney to where you cannot have open containers on public property, which includes the easements in front of the houses. Yep. Basically, we're like, we want you to have fun, but we want you to be smart in this.
Right.
And the slogan is, be safe, be smart. I have the pin on me
there
right here. I don't know if you can see it or not. But be safe, be smart. We want you to enjoy the event. We want you to be safe, and we want you to be smart about your decisions. And so in those activities, a lot of that partying died down. because it had nothing to do with the event.
Right.
It was a great excuse for a bunch of college kids to drink beer in the front yard. Had nothing to do with cruise night.
Right. Other than the fact there were cars cruising up and down.
Exactly.
And then
we're not saying you can't sit on your porch and enjoy that, but when you've got 100 plus people in your front yard,
and then 100 people in the next yard,
and then
they're mingling. Yeah.
And there's minors drinking. There's people that are getting, walking out on the curb because they're making bad decisions.
Sure.
Walking out the street. What a horrible thing to think about. What if somebody got killed because of a poor decision? And what does that do for the community? And what does that do for this event?
Right.
And we want our people to enjoy it. We want our people to be safe. It looks like we're getting started on our parade.
The color guard is slowly making their way up the street.
They're going to stop at Bud and Betty for the national anthem, where we have our DJ set up. And it looks like we are just that close for the parade to start.
It appears they might be playing the national anthem, but I certainly don't hear anything.
I can't either.
If we heard it, we would certainly
absolutely
stop.
100%.
We're not 100% sure if that's happening right now.
But back to the be safe, be smart. And I want to reiterate to people tonight, if you're out cruising Central, 25th Street, Highway 30, by all means, thoroughly please enjoy the event. Enjoy cruising like we used to do when we were young. But make good decisions. And if you see somebody making a bad decision that's going to be a hazard to other people, say something. Call somebody. And we want this to be a safe event. We want you to enjoy it. We're thoroughly imploring you, be safe, be smart, enjoy cruise night, make wise decisions. If you see somebody who's potentially not making a right decision, say something. Because we want this to be safe for everybody. And we want to see this. This is our 38th year. When we have our 50th year, I want to talk about how we've never had an incident in 50 years of this event. And so let's all work together to make that happen.
Cruising used to be, for us, when I was in high school, Longmont, Colorado, we would jump on our buddy's Mercury Sable because he was the only one who could drive yet. We would go up and down Main Street on Friday and Saturday night.
There may be a few years between us. So when I was thinking about cruising, this on Central was our cruising street.
Oh, was it?
Yes, absolutely. We would go from 25th Street to Railroad. A lot of us would pull off a block before and turn around and make a loop and come back the other direction. It would be bumper to bumper, light to light, from about dusk till about midnight.
Really?
Because that's when our curfews were.
Sure.
And we went absolutely nowhere. If you made a bad decision, you better be smart about it because you weren't going anywhere and the cops would just walk to your car.
Right, because and I mean, even if you wanted to, the bricks are so rough and tumble in the first place. You're not going very fast.
And it was so much fun, and we would heckle people and it was all of our buddies. We'd have a lot of great times. I remember my bride now, my girlfriend in high school then, cruising Maine together. What awesome memories. And the opportunity to relive that's huge.
Sure.
Yeah.
And that's what brings 300 plus cars on Wednesday.
Yep.
And that's what brings them all out for this.
That's right. We had well over 400 cars here today.
On Central.
On Central. We had, I would say, and I'm guessing, I haven't talked to our team yet to see where the actual numbers were, but I guess we were close to 450.
Wow. So let me ask you this, and this comes from a point of ignorance. My stepfather had some trucks growing up that he would put together, but he wasn't an enthusiast necessarily to the point where he was taking them to shows until well after I had left the house. What does this mean to the people who are putting these cars together?
Every car has a different memory or a different meaning for somebody else. So you see a GTO, you see a 55 Chevy, you see an Impala, you see a Chevy C10. For whatever reason, that trips a trigger for somebody. It has a memory, something nostalgic draws them to that. I remember my dad, when I was a young kid, he had a 66 Mustang.
Wow.
And then he had a 61 Impala. And so I have nostalgia towards Mustangs and Impalas and Ford, Chevy, whatever.
Yeah.
I have both.
Sure.
Because I have those memories. And I think about all of the different people that, have those memories. We've got our color guard coming by, and we're showing respect to our flag. So we've got our color guard just rode by with our Kearney Police Department. Thank you guys for doing that. We have our Grand Marshal, John Lowe.
Former state senator.
Former state senator. Done a tremendous amount of stuff for Nebraska.
With Brad.
With Brad Kearney, who's on his phone, of course, in his 57 Chevy Bel Air. And we have Kearney Fire Department's brand new grass fighting rig.
Really looks good.
It's actually today is 4 days old.
Well, okay.
It just got commissioned.
It looks it.
Yeah, I know. I'm like, you guys are going to be so afraid to get that dirty. And like, oh, no, we'll be fine.
We'll be fine.
We have Steve Harmony pulling our Fran Wilson and our barber shoppers.
They're having fun.
Yes, they are. And they'll probably make a couple loops through.
Tunes, yeah.
And we have some of our Shriners making our way through. For the first time, they'll be through again.
Okay. So how do you get involved in the parade?
How do you get involved with the parade?
Yeah.
You simply line up.
That's it?
That's it. At
no
4
car
o'clock.
Specifications?
Nope, there's no qualifications required. In fact, all of our events, every single one of our events, there's no year requirement on the vehicle. There's no, it has to be 25 years old or whatever. There's nothing of that. This is about car enthusiasts.
Right.
I mean, if you have a brand new Challenger, like in this instance, with this Burgundy 392 Hemi, it doesn't matter that it's not a vintage vehicle. He's a car enthusiast.
Sure.
He loves the sport. He loves the hobby.
And that might be a beautiful car in 40 years.
Well, it's a beautiful car now.
It is now.
Yeah.
And how that's going to age out will also be really interesting.
Exactly. And I'm sure that, people knowing now that, hey, when I'm old and gray, this car is going to be a classic. I'm going to take better care of it. They probably, you think about that. In the 70s and the early 80s, a 73 Cuda may not have been that big of a deal.
Right.
Now it's like, man, I sure wish I had that car back, right?
Sure.
And so, but to be involved with this, you need to be a car enthusiast. I don't care if you're driving a Model A or a brand new Camaro. We want to see you here. This is what we want. And to be part of the parade, all you need to do is at 4 o'clock, the show and shine stops. Line up on either Avenue A or First Avenue facing north, and you're going to be in the parade.
Over 400 cars here today. What are they bringing the cars for? Not just we got to have some prizes or something, some victors.
There is 0 prizes.
No prizes.
None. In fact, they paid to do it. All the money goes towards good nonprofit events like Coats for Kids, the Good Fellows. Every year the Central Nebraska Auto Club looks at where are we sitting, and we are a nonprofit. And so we look at where are we sitting financially. Where do we want to contribute this money that we raise throughout the year, including this event and our indoor show? Where does this money need to go that we can best make an impact in our community? And so we make those decisions early December, and we send checks to different organizations to help make sure that we are supporting our community. We are putting the money where it needs to be, where it makes the most impact and helps young people, helps families. But there is 0 prizes, 0 trophies, 0 judging on any of the events except for Sunday.
Okay.
Because we've had a lot of feedback saying, "Where's my trophy? Where's this? Where's that?" And so, Coach McCann, Tom McCann, has put a tremendous amount of effort.
He's involved in everything.
He is involved. If you look behind you, Coach McCann's somewhere.
That's right.
And he's always polishing one of his 2 cars, and I don't know how there's paint on any of them because you would think he'd rub it off.
Right.
But Coach is back there, so he works with UNK. They host the show and shine on Sunday that is at the American Automobile Experience. And there's an entry fee there. There is trophies there. And there's an opportunity to go into the museum and firsthand go through that American Automobile Experience and see what's there, because it's pretty tremendous. If you've not been there, you're missing out on a very, very unique gem that Kearney hides by Cabela's.
I have always wondered how people, the lowrider type vehicles, don't bottom out. Or do they?
They do, yes. and a lot of them have air ride suspension.
Okay.
So if they get into a rough section of road, they're able to raise that up a little bit. This young person,
I love it.
as many years as he's been able to fit in that thing.
Still fits
And
in.
I wonder how many more years he'll be like. He's going to hit a growth spurt at one of these
At
days.
some point, right?
But he's been here for many years and very proud of that. That it's a little Corvair go-kart, and he's definitely going to be a lifer in the car.
That's great.
Hobby. So.
What kind of gas mileage do you think that bad boy gets?
Which one? That Cadillac or that little go-kart?
Yeah.
I don't know how many miles you'd actually want to drive it. But I bet
depending on the size.
Yeah, it just depends on how heavy his foot is, I suppose.
Sure.
But that's funny.
That is funny.
I never thought about that. I bet it doesn't do that great.
I souped up my daughter's Hot Wheel.
Oh, yeah.
She got a little Mercedes Hot Wheel.
Yeah.
We did a little conversion on the battery thanks to my neighbor tipping me off to it.
Yeah.
So we got that out today. It was cooking.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, if you get a different battery hooked up to it.
It'll get and go?
Yes.
That's awesome.
It was pretty cool. Now we got to figure out what we're going to do on the wheels because one of them didn't have tread. So I had to take it. It's a one-wheel drive,
Yep.
which I didn't notice until I discovered how one wheel was spinning and everything else was just kind of bouncing around. So we had to figure out the tread. Now we got to do some more upkeep on it. But once we get that going, she's still 2. She's not really ready for it.
That's
Brought
awesome.
the juice.
So us growing up, we always had the little go-karts that set about 2 inches off the ground with zero suspension.
Okay.
Little tiny wheels on them and like a 5-horse Briggs and Stratton.
Oh, yeah.
And it would literally rattle your kidneys loose as you went down the alley. And you could flip cookies one direction like no other.
Uh-huh.
And inevitably, about every third time we get out, the police would show up.
Oh,
so,
is that right?
Yeah, because
Yep.
somebody would say, hey, these kids are right up and down this alley in a go-kart. We're like,
Right.
as fast as we can.
Well, hey, I had a go-kart. I grew up in the country, so we had a little bit more room to run.
Right.
Had a go-kart, had a little motorbike. My favorite times on the go-kart were when it snowed and it made it a slick surface.
Oh, sure.
Oh, my gosh, you could do so many donuts.
Oh, yeah.
It was so fun.
Yeah. And, you know, we grew up in the days we would do that like cut-off shorts and flip-flops and tank tops.
Thank you.
And if you fell off of the go-kart, well, you learn not to do that next time.
Right. So, when you look at all these cars, what are you looking for yourself?
Me, you know, I look at the things that create nostalgia for me.
Uh-huh.
Right now, we've got this 42 Chevy that's coming up, this copper-colored one.
Yes,
Absolutely
beautiful.
gorgeous.
Yep.
This has always had a soft spot in my heart. When I was first married, my wife and I built a 41 Chevy pickup, nearly identical to it. And it was very much a budget build. It was kind of the budget paint, the budget, everything on it. But we absolutely loved building it, and it was ours. And so we had 2 little kids, and we had a lot more desire than we had dollars. And we built that, and we drove it for years. And then I sold it because that's what everybody does. And since then I've regretted. So I see that triggers a memory. It really does. I see like this Mercury coming up right here, this 4-door black Mercury.
Yeah.
You know, my grandfather loved Mercuries, and I look at that and I think about, you know, like American Graffiti, that candy apple red car that was in American Graffiti that the Pharaohs drove was a 4950 Mercury. And so I look at that, I think of that. I look at this. My cousin had a Mach 1 Mustang, very similar to that. His was copper, not yellow, but very much the same car. Here comes an early 60s Impala. My dad had a 61 and a 63. My dad had a 66 Mustang. Here's a 66 Fastback. Yeah.
Yep.
And so, and you know, there's little subtle things you look at. You can tell that's at a 66, not a 65. And I know that because of growing up in that.
Sure.
Now, I look at the newer muscle cars, and I absolutely admire how they're able to take the horsepower and put it to the ground and how much better they handle. And, you know, everybody's like, you know what? The 60s muscle cars were faster. Well, if you raced a newer one, maybe they weren't.
Maybe they weren't.
But they felt different. But don't discount a new muscle car. Those things are just fast.
That they are.
They are. And,
They're just not. They're not. They may not be perceived as fast because you don't hear it and feel it the same way. But it doesn't mean it's as quick.
The tires aren't howling and throwing
Right.
smoke because they have traction control.
Right.
I will tell you, personally, I have an older muscle car, and I've been in newer muscle cars. They're not, the older muscle cars just feel violent.
Yeah.
They're not going as fast, but it's unruly, and you're in touch with the transmission, you're in touch with the feel of the road, you're in touch with the steering wheel. There is no computer making sure you hook up. It's all you. And they just are violent. But a new muscle car, don't discount them. God, they're fast. They're so fast.
What do you make of the different engine sounds? Is there anything that really makes you feel more akin to a certain vehicle because of the muscle sound?
You know, you hear an old flathead with open headers.
Yeah.
And they have such a unique sound.
Uh-huh.
A 426 Hemi, there's no mistaking how that engine sounds.
Right.
Again, the same way, a newer LS with the appropriate exhaust, you can tell from a block away that's an LS. You hear a Chrysler 440. They sound a certain way, and once you know what that sounds like, you recognize it.
Kind of like a scent.
It is. Yeah, it's like grandma's cooking. You know exactly what this is.
Right.
And so you see these cars and you hear them, and I mean, you can hear a car go by and you're like, okay, I know that's Flowmaster exhaust by the way it sounds. And
That's in depth.
What's that?
That's in depth. To know it to that level.
Yes. But when you grow
Nothing
up,
wrong with that. I would not be able to pinpoint it that way.
when you grow up and you're in this hobby,
Yeah.
and you're listening to these cars go by, you're like, yeah, that's a Flowmaster Super 40.
Sure.
You got to know it.
Right.
It just, I don't know. It's maybe that's a unique thing to say, but anybody who's in this hobby would agree with me, just because you know it.
Right. Burt Reynolds.
Yeah. So
there's a story there, isn't there?
that's a little newer.
Okay.
That's kind of a conglomeration of all the movies put together in a newer package. But yeah, there's nothing. In fact, there is I don't know. I hope it comes through the parade. I hope it does. But there is a 77 Firebird that's black with the golden bird on it. It looks just like the Trans Am that is in the Bandit.
How many movies are focused around cars?
Oh Lord, I have no
In that
idea.
way. Now, I'm not talking Fast and the Furious, even though I guess that is a newer version.
It is. So you think about like American Graffiti, and you think about, you know, a 32 Ford, a Deuce Coupe, a 5-window, yellow. You think about a 58 Impala that's all customized. You think about a 50 Merc that's a lowrider. You think about, well, even the Edsel that's in it. Or you think about like the California Kid, the 33 Coupe that's black with flames on it. Or you think about the Bandit, and you've got that Trans Am that's, I mean, anybody see that? Or the Dukes of Hazzard.
Yeah.
Bright orange Charger
Right.
with a Dixie flag on it and a horn. I mean, we all grew up with these things, and every one of us, when we see that, it stirs a memory. Or right now we've got a mid-'60s Ford grain truck coming down with a stake side box on it.
Yeah.
You know, we're talking rural Nebraska. How many of us remember that from Grandpa?
Right.
It was off the farm. I mean, we see that. And here comes the 68, 69 Chevelle. And all of these things stir memories for us. Then we get a newer Bug coming down, little pink rag top.
That's right.
It's an absolute riot, and it looks so much fun. And they're creating their own memories. And how awesome is that? And whether you agree that you think that's a cool car or not, I mean, it's got Intransits in it. Obviously,
brand new.
they thought it was cool.
Right.
And they're happy. They're
They're having
enjoying
fun.
life. This is awesome.
Throwing candy to the kids.
Exactly.
How rough does it get with those kids when it was sweet tarts coming rolling through?
You know, when you're throwing candy, they're all your friends.
Well, that's true. it's who's going to get the candy. That's when it becomes competitive.
Exactly.
So this is the last day for cruise night, technically.
Not necessarily. So tonight we still have the burnout competition.
But that's not part of you. That's
it's
exempt.
it's
So talk
part
about,
of the stuff that we are promoting as
Okay,
one of the
okay.
events. And then tomorrow we have the drag races tonight,
Yep.
providing the weather holds out.
Yeah.
We have drag racing all day tomorrow at the Kearney Raceway Park, and we have the show and shine at the American Automobile Experience.
Okay. And so, worst case scenario, we get rain tonight, and that's it. Do we still have the
Absolutely.
competition?
Absolutely. In fact, a couple years ago we had a pretty significant rain come through about dusk, and there were still people out cruising because a little rain ain't going to damper our spirits.
That's great. I wouldn't know how antsy people get when weather's coming through because they don't want any dings.
These cars were designed to be driven.
Yeah.
And when, like the 62 Chevy coming down the road right now, it was designed to be driven daily. And a little rain should not hurt that car.
No, but hail might.
The hail might. Yeah, I'm going to argue that. But, it's interesting. You'll see people that will put them away, and you see people like, well, it's raining, and I'm going to drive it anyway.
Right. I guess it depends on each person's preference because you don't know what the paint job was on their specific car, how much they put into it.
Correct.
To get it to this point where they're bringing it out.
That's absolutely right. And you're seeing such a variety of
really
vehicles.
are.
You're seeing 57 Fairlanes, 65 Ford pickup, looks like a 70, mid-70s Chevy short box four-wheel drive. Now you got a 55 Bel Air. Just everything under the sun because, being a car guy doesn't necessarily define you as well. You have to have a Mustang or a Bel Air or a Model A. Or it's what intrigues you. What makes you excited about your vehicle?
We tried.
Yeah, they're throwing candy at us here. This is awesome. Oh. Man, like.
This is.
What do we get?
Looks like one of those packs that you put over your eyes.
Oh, there you go.
I think he's telling me I look old. Gotta get my baggy eyes. Trying to look better here. Wrap pack with damp cloth paper towel.
That's awesome.
15 seconds.
We have we have a handful of suckers that came at us like a hailstone, but we didn't get hit by them.
And we don't have a paint job that we're too worried about either. Thankfully.
Yep.
I like that we could have looser rules.
Yeah.
For seating arrangements, etc., on these types of parades.
Well, it is a parade, and obviously, if we're going down 2nd Avenue or 25th Street, we'd want those people to be in their seatbelts and safe.
Right.
But this is a parade.
It's a parade.
Yep.
That's exactly right.
Yeah, we have hopefully about 300 mini floats coming down our parade. So, and every single one of these cars, we want the people in them to have as much fun as the people watching them.
I mean, you mentioned the variety of the cars. I've seen a variety of plates coming through here too.
Yes.
Colorado, Iowa.
We had a gentleman that brought his 65 Mustang Fastback from Alaska.
Wow.
Alaska.
Just for the show.
Yes.
That's great.
Isn't that incredible? I think last year we had 8 states represented, and I don't know I'll know at the end of this particular season what we ended up with, but yeah, it's pretty incredible to think about all the different opportunities and different vehicles that are here. Oh, Willie's Jeepster, that's awesome.
And I mean, you talk about people coming from Alaska or whatever. It's such a great opportunity to not only get involved in different car communities across the nation, but explore America in general. I
agree. And you think about it, something drew that person to Kearney, Nebraska this weekend. Mm-hmm. And so what was that? Was that somebody saying how amazing this car show is? What a great opportunity. We've won several recognitions and awards. The Central Nebraska Auto Club has been recognized several times for this event simply because of the Riley Bay's letting the horsepower be known. Here they all go.
Now we got a competition.
Here they all go.
There we go. That's what we were waiting for.
And I have a feeling that this is going to make some noise with this
little rev off.
Yeah. And then he pulls away quietly. All show, no go. Coach McCann
There
in
he
the surf
is.
wagon.
Yep. Big old
Riley
Bel
Bay in
Air.
his Cobra. You know, one thing about Riley, he never sneaks anywhere he goes.
Is there a value for the engine to be revved in that way?
Mostly it just helps with testosterone.
Okay.
And
That's not the gas that you put in the car.
yeah, and so that's more about the octane in your soul than it is in the tank.
Sure.
It's just having fun. I mean, you know, people build these things to enjoy them, and sometimes that might involve a little bit of noise and a little tire smoke. And you know what? I have a hard time judging that because I do the same things.
Right. And I mean,
But you know, we were talking about that guy comes from Alaska. Why? Because somebody told him how awesome Kearney is and how awesome this event is, and you need to make a point to come here.
Right.
And enough of an influence was made that he came from Alaska with his Mustang to come to this event.
yeah,
How awesome is that?
it's really cool.
How many other events happen in Kearney, Nebraska that somebody from Alaska would load up a vehicle and drive that far?
I
to
do
be
know, once upon a time, Mr. Basketball brought some teams from Alaska down here.
I don't doubt that, but
Once upon a time.
that would be so Mr. Basketball and Cruise Night.
Yeah.
Yeah. How awesome is that?
No, it's really cool. I remember because I was covering Mr. Basketball, and we had some kids down here from Alaska.
Yeah,
And I was like, this is so wild. So I was Googling where their towns were. And then I got into a whole Google map search of different towns in the area around it. And Alaska is massive.
Alaska's huge.
Oh,
yeah.
my gosh.
Yeah. I mean, you don't think Alaska's big? Compare it to Texas.
Yeah. It is wild.
Yep.
And then there's just so much wild earth out there that is untouched.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which would be
probably places no
something else.
humans ever been. And,
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Cool
I
little
love the
crossfire.
variety down here. I mean, you've got Corvettes, Jeeps, C10 pickups, little Chevy 2 convertibles. He just got that. He's loving it.
Okay.
Completely unrestored.
Yeah.
How clean is that?
But he's got a chance.
Yeah,
Put it all together any way he wants to.
Exactly.
That
Little
probably means a lot to people who are into cars.
That does. And so you see people that, you know, there's some cars down here, like an early 40s Pontiac Torpedo. That the car is 100% original down to the paint.
Oh, really?
It's not perfect. It's got door dings. It's got scuffs in it. A little bit of fading. But the original interior, original paint. They put some exhaust on it, gave it a good tune-up, and drove it. And the fact that they can do that, and I mean, that's just incredible. It's a time capsule, right?
Uh-huh.
And then you have, again, back to brand new vehicles, fully restored vehicles, muscle cars, cruisers, just everything. It's so much fun.
I feel like the Chevelle is like the iconic key. No, that's maybe the wrong word, but it's like the Chevelle is, I think, really easy for a lot of people to assimilate to a muscle car.
Again, it depends on your generation.
Sure.
Because so the Chevelle, if you look at the generation that was into the Chevelles, they were the people that were in high school or college during the late 60s, early 70s.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
And so if you go back 10 years earlier, see that anniversary gold Impala SS is coming up behind. So in the late 50s, early 60s, go back a decade, that was a muscle car.
Uh-huh.
And so a 63 Impala could be had with a dual quad 409 that made 425 horsepower, 4-speed with 411 gears. And they would run a 12-second quarter mile in 1963 from the factory. And to be honest with you, they'd give one of these Chevelles a run for their money.
Would they?
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
And it was depending on who was driving it.
But, hey.
And so, like this Chevelle SS 454 with with traction issues.
With traction issues.
And
He almost took out a sucker, too.
yeah, I know he could have smashed that sucker dead. But, you know, and like this Oldsmobile 442, who would have thought old man Oldsmobile would ever got in the muscle car market?
Right?
Here goes the Cutlass and the 442s.
Really nice.
Wow, and brand new Corvettes. Aren't
Yeah.
those amazing, the mid-engine Corvettes? It's just, it's exciting. And he's going to have traction issues too, I feel. And then you have the guys that have an absolute blast with life. You got little Mustang convertibles and a 1970-something Cadillac. Let's take a Sawzall, cut the top off, put a set of bullhorns on it, and just enjoy life.
That's it.
And it's like, how do you flaw the guy for that?
None here.
And one of the original muscle cars, the Pontiac GTO. 1964. This is a 66, 67 model. But the 64, the Pontiac GTO, first muscle car. People don't realize that, but it's like, yeah, they stuffed a 389 and a little tiny Le Mans and said, let's go make some smoke with these tires.
Right.
And there came the muscle car.
What's this?
That is a Buffalo County Sheriff support vehicle. We have KPD being awesome as always. And just a tremendous amount of support from our local law enforcement for this event. Obviously, they want to have everybody be safe. They want people to be smart in their decisions. But they're also down here enjoying the event. And to wrap it all up, we have a little right-hand drive Mini Cooper.
A Mini Cooper
that would fit in the trunk of most 60s Impalas.
Right?
Ain't that fun?
That was really cool.
Yeah. Exactly.
And that, is that a straggler?
We got a straggler. Looks like a 66, 67 Chevelle
Or are they
down
just
the line.
clearing out?
What's that?
Or are they just clearing out?
I have no idea what they're doing. It looks like they're waiting for the light to change, so it's hard to say.
Well, he's on a green light.
Now he is. It was red.
Walking through right now.
Yep, now he's coming through. And we got a KPD officer on a bicycle.
Hey, embrace the adventure at the Buffalo County Fair, July 23rd through the 28th. Learn more at buffalocountyfairgrounds.com. I think we do have one more. No, there's a couple more, and the plows are still down there, too.
Yeah, we got some other vehicles pulling out and through.
Is that street legal? The Recon Power Bike?
I don't know. I'm not going to argue with him. He has a police officer uniform on.
He does.
Chevelle SS 396.
For sale.
For sale. If anybody wants to get into the hobby,
the Super Sport,
there would be a perfect car to get started with. Classic muscle car. We got a few stragglers coming down. People are starting to maneuver around, but they're not really in a hurry to get rolling. They're just seeing what else comes down the line.
Slow and steady.
Yeah.
Hey, we avoided the rain.
We did.
And we got cloud cover.
We did.
Can't ask for much more.
No. Nope, we don't. Here comes Dynamic Rides with their truck and trailer. These guys make some tremendously awesome vehicles.
They're not hiring.
They're not hiring, but Randy Lofquist and his team, they know how to do it. And they make some absolutely stunning vehicles. He's been a great supporter of this event for many, many years.
I think we got a couple more cars coming down.
Yes,
because
we do. 49 Ford,
plows have peeled,
73 Cuda, 57 Chevy pickup.
I'm going to guess that's a 49.
That's the 49 Ford.
That's right. The license plate gave it away.
Well, I guess I was looking at the grill.
You were.
73 Cuda.
You're smarter than I am.
My dad and I painted that car 40 years ago.
Did you really?
Yes, we did.
Wow. That specific car?
That specific car.
Well, that's cool.
Yeah. He's had that thing forever. I think he had it in high school. And right now we have a nicely silver Chrysler minivan coming down the road. He's probably thinking, why am I here?
How did I get involved in this?
Exactly.
We'll go with a couple more and then we'll wrap it up from here.
That sounds good.
Just because I'm not sure what's what anymore.
So this is a 57 Chevy Cameo pickup. This truck is stunning. A very, very rare truck.
Wow. It looks like the tailgate's detached, but it's not.
Yes.
Interesting.
So
not the tailgate, I'm sorry, the bed.
Yep, no, they that truck they were designed to be the gentleman's truck, And the whole bed on that thing is fiberglass, which was very new in
interesting.
the mid-'50s.
Yeah. Well, Josh, we're going to complete things with the Toyota Corolla.
Sounds good.
If that's a Corolla.
I think it's a
Sabra.
Yep.
Well, hey, appreciate it.
Thank you
We
for
had a
the
great
opportunity.
time.
Yeah, that was a good time.
Thanks for all the information, and I hope
You
you
bet.
enjoyed Kearney Cruise Night 2025.
Thank you, everybody.